That's what we see Jay-Z has done. That's what we see Puff has done. The music don't become how you pay the bills. It's a lot of pressure off of it. You got other things bringing in income, you can make music.
This new song with Nip and Jay, what the fuck, I got something to say. What a slap in the fucking face. Like what the fuck is going on? Who told you that song and did you know all along? And why did your bitch sell that painting 2 weeks after he was gone? I'm gonna tell you what it feels like. It feels a little fishy. Feels like something's going on ever since that John Legend song and Khaled's prediction of a Grammy. If you ask me, I can't stand him. Seems a little weird. Question number one, why is there no blood? Question number two, Sam left in the AM is true, but you're talking about the shits all up in the afternoon. Don't trip, we're gonna find out the truth soon. Who did what to who? Did they plan to eat the chili fries or was it just a surprise? Can you see the lies of witness in a cowboy's eyes? Are we gonna just sit here and forget? Are we gonna ride like Nip said? It's a little weird that the judge quit. Handing out immunities like candy makes me sick. I got a lot of unanswered questions like, why's the footage all grit and I can't see shit? Who the fuck is that white man in that white BMW? Probably was the FBI. Yeah, I noticed that white guy, and I noticed the car wasn't in the pictures when they showed them afterwards. They thought we would forget. They got that shit backwards. They weren't expecting me to drop this track and raise all these questions with my Mac words. I'm really mobbing through LA smoking backwoods. I've been doing this shit all my life. TMC, AMI. You might just see an empty parking lot when you ride by. Well, me, I see way more. I see an independently owned store. I see the community taking power back, whether you're white, Mexican, Asian, or black. As long as you're not blue. Good ones, there might be a few, but from my life experience, I'm like, fuck that. I'm not defending Eric, but what's the fucking delay? They requested a quick trial, it's been over 800 days. They try to distract us in so many clever, creative ways. Yeah, you got your Grammy, and now you're a billionaire. But what about the families that are still living there? Seems a little unfair, just a little something to compare. I never seen a fireman wearing a bulletproof vest. Yes, the shit to me seems a little suspect. The shit's a little weird. Crisis actors taking away our fathers, making our child some bastards, killing creative men and women for their masters. The waves that Nip wrote in, you didn't know where to begin. A bunch of new chapters. You didn't think about what would happen after. We would put the pieces together on your transparent bullshit. I can see right through it, like the clear blue sky in the LA sunny weather, where the palm trees swing side to side and we ride together on a white horse or a double R hearse in a foreign car. Either way, you gotta be on guard because they're on tap for anyone who's brown or black with tats. Everybody sees it, but nobody wants to attack. It's sad if you ask. We all gotta blast back. We're in the game, but we can't touch the ball. Seems a little unfair if you ask me, that's all. So take your ignorant ass to YouTube and type in Tanique Reviews to get the real news. We're doing the shit for justice, not views. Sharing knowledge and coming together, that's the real tool. He tried to lead us to the lake, so don't sleep on the knowledge that he gave to me and you. He wanted us to learn from his mistakes, so with our new knowledge, good decisions we could make. And also one thing I wanted to say myself, they killed Dr. Sebi because he was teaching health. Assassins, they come in all shapes and sizes, big booties, hips and thighs. Oh, you're Diddy's girl, right? Oh yeah, John Legend, some things happen at your video shoot. I got a couple questions for you. All those strings you pulled, you still can't make a rap hit. You punk ass little bitch, you probably got a little dick. All the shit that you have to did. This new song with Nip and Jay, what the fuck, I got something to say. What a slap in the fucking face. This new song with Nip and Jay, what the fuck, I got something to say. What a slap in the fucking face.
What up, chat room? What up, everybody in the chat room? Let's get this in the way. Everything on this podcast is alleged and used for your entertainment, spiritual, religious, and educational purposes only. Welcome to everybody. Welcome to Tanya Flowers in the building with us tonight. Glad we caught you, Tanya. How are you been? Good evening to you as well. Yeah, Tanya says right off the bat. I said we got Tanya Flowers in the building. Welcome, Tanya. Welcome. How you?
Pretty good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
I'm glad to have you, man. Isn't this sad?
I just can't believe it. And I was thinking, I said, oh God, I hope Angie be okay, with the last interview I saw. But she was so determined. She was talking about how she was going to do this and that. I just can't believe it, Tanique. And then learn that she was the only one who transitioned out of that accident. I don't know.
That is, I thought 9 other people passed. Am I correct? Or just 9 people in the accident?
I think it was 9 people, maybe 9 people involved. From what I understand, she was the only one who transitioned.
Oh.
I need to go back and listen to it again, but I think that's what I heard.
You know, when I read it, it kind of reminded me a little bit of what happened to Lisa Left Eye Lopez.
Yes.
All
Yes.
those people in the car, and the only person to pass was Lisa. And of course, she was, saying some things about the industry. And
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching Angie for a couple of years, and she's been deaf on the music, the
Mm-hmm.
money that the industry owed her when it come to music, and her relationship with Clive Davis.
Mm-hmm.
She started to talk
Absolutely.
a little bit and let us inside of the music industry. She's been around since the '70s
Mm-hmm.
with Sequence, so she's been in there for a long time.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of our people get used so bad and cheated, out of unbelievable amounts of money. And then when they get the strength and to stand up and to speak up for themselves and try to recoup what they lost, it always seems to be a catastrophe, afterward. It's really sad.
That's what I'm saying. And then they don't want you to start talking about conspiracies. I just find it strange. All
Mm-hmm.
she was asking for was what rightfully belongs to her. We
Mm-hmm.
know that I forget the name of the song, but in the group Sequence, several other groups used that sound, including Dr. Dre and other
Mm-hmm.
people to launch off, hip hop. And
Mm-hmm.
so I don't think she was adequately paid for
Yeah.
them using her music. And then she started to speak about it.
Mm-hmm.
And she's speaking about it a couple of weeks before this tragedy happened, and she wasn't looking for no drama or anything. She was looking for what was rightfully due her.
Mm-hmm.
And this happens. And I'm like, we just did a show a couple of nights ago, and it's about all the tragedies with Gene Hackman, his wife and dog.
Mm-hmm.
And we had I can't even remember everybody. We had the girl from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and we just a bunch of people. Thaddeus, the cousin pastor. All these people
Yeah.
just died, and we kind of hoping like maybe it'd be a reprieve. And we did that I think the night before last, and then all of a sudden we get this information about Angie. It was just sad. I was hoping it was like not true.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping it was like definitely not true. And this was a horrible, horrible accident. There needs to be a serious investigation. I'm gonna let you see some footage of the aftermath. Of course, they have been taken to the hospital already, and an investigation is underway. But this was a very, very bad accident. And to me, from looking at it, they had to try and swerve for something, or somebody tried to run them off the road.
Oh Lord. They say she was hit they were hit by a semi, right?
They're not saying anything, but I'm gonna
Mm.
show you the accident. You can see it for yourself. Take a
Oh,
look at this.
all right. Oh Lord, look at that. Oh my.
Exactly. And keep going. That's where it ended at, but watch where it started at. Look from there
Uh-huh.
and watch as he drive up further. It started. Okay, there you get it right there. That's where
Oh,
it stopped.
oh boy.
That ain't where it started. So it started to flipping up further. Now that's where it stopped. Let's
Oh.
keep going. And you should see what you should have seen some tracks over to the left, and that's where it started at. So they
Mm,
tried to break. That's where it
mm.
stopped at.
Oh wow.
So this was a horrible, horrible accident. And I hope that, people just don't look at it and go, well, it was a car accident and call it a day. Look,
No.
like, especially on 65 going down, I've driven that highway a lot, 65 going down through Alabama. You,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know what really took place, especially with her talking or not. And I'm just surprised more filming came out with all the dash cams that people got. I'm
Uh-huh.
just surprised that ain't nobody got what really happened.
Yeah. Hassan was saying that she was the only survivor as well. He might
I
have heard
think
her.
in the chat, he said that she was definitely Hassan Burton. She was definitely one of the only. She was the only person that died.
Oh yeah, the only person who died. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Thank you to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dana Hudson, Isaac Spencer. Good to see you. I ain't seen you guys in a long time. This kind of hit, different. All
Yeah.
of them hit different, but this one hit different. Trying to rebuild her music career and stuff like that, and looked like she was headed up in that direction. So I'm just a little surprised
I'm really
that
surprised. Yeah, the last time I saw her, she looked like she was working hard. She did have, like most of us have the shoulder. She had her daughter, her grandchildren, her son, just the overall family woman trying to take care of her family.
exactly, exactly. but still moving in a positive direction. In fact, this picture is one of the last pictures of her actually performing. This
Wow.
was, of course, February the 23rd. That was Sunday, this
Oh,
past Sunday.
so
She's
she worked up
performing.
into the last, pretty much her last days, huh?
She had a show last night.
Oh, wow. Oh,
So, I don't know how they're going to investigate this, but I definitely want to know what happened. Did they swerve? Something had to happen. That was a very, very bad accident.
I really hope no one fell asleep. I don't know. With road trips, as we all know, we can kind of, I don't know. I don't know. I can't even begin to think. And then, just those last moments. I don't know. I just hope she didn't. I hope she didn't suffer too bad. I
Since
hope not.
everybody else survived,
Yes.
you never know what. Some people are so afraid. A lot of times fear make them have heart attacks and stuff like that.
Mm,
Car flipping over, but everybody else kind of survived that thing. It'd be interesting to see the ages of the people that were inside of the car.
yeah, that would be interesting. Well, thank you for the opportunity, Tanika. I'm gonna drop down so someone else could come up, but I'm staying tuned.
Definitely, no problem. So
Thank
we're
you.
here and we're talking about the late great Angie Stone, and she has passed, and she passed due to an accident, a car accident. And I'm going to say allegedly because I don't know, but that's what they're actually saying. And the reason why we say that is because, of course, I hate to use this term. Angie was battling and stuff to get music and stuff that was definitely get paid for music and stuff that she actually did. Going back to the '70s in her group Sequence, a lot of hip hop artists out of New York, the West Coast, sampled a lot of her music, and we don't know if she was adequately paid for it or not. But she's been, trying to get her money and stuff that's really due her. She's owed a lot of money, even still, for the work that she put out there. She's owed a lot of money. If you guys want to come up, hey Mag, how you doing? Good to see you. There is the link for you to come up and share your thoughts about it as well too. So the link is there inside of the box. I think it is. There it is. Yeah, there you get the link. If you want to come up, just touch that link and you can come up and share your thoughts on it. I know that I did not really want this to be true at all. And finally I had the misfortune of seeing somebody who captured the aftermath of it, and it kind of hit different, really does. Uh, Angie's had a very, very illustrious, successful career, and wow. So, you want to come up, just hit the link there. Let's read some of the stuff that has been reported, so we'll have an ideology of what actually went on. So, you'll see that. Let me move my little tag out of the way here. So you see that TMZ has obtained a video capturing the aftermath of the crash that killed Angie Stone and injured 8 others. So the total of 9 people. She is the only one to succumb to her injuries. As of right now, the other 8 people are allegedly, I would say, in stable condition or what have we. I haven't heard nobody passing since. So I guess the other 8 people are still here. And they say also here, the late star's representative, Deborah R. Champagne, tells TMZ Angie left a performance in Montgomery, Alabama, early Saturday morning when she was killed in a car crash. So she was killed in a car crash earlier today. And it goes on further, and it says Stone was one of 9 in a van. So it was 9 people in a van, which included her crew and backup singers. When the van was crashed on Interstate 65 in Montgomery County, she was the only one fatality, Deborah told us. And it goes on further to say Angie was traveling from a performance at Mobile Area Mardi Gras Association Grand Marshals Ball to another performance at the CIAA basketball tournament in Baltimore. So they were leaving Alabama and was going to make the long drive to Baltimore. That's a pretty nice little drive, but nevertheless, it's just sad to me. Deborah tells us she just spoke to Angie last night. So Friday night was the last night that her campaign, her manager and stuff spoke with her. So she spoke with her Friday night. And the news has rocked and devastated friends and family. Of course it has. No question, and fans as well too. Angie rose to fame as a member of Sequence, the first all-female group signed to Sugar Hill Records. First all-female group signed to Sugar Hill Records. And it goes on to say the group dropped 3 albums during their time together between 1979 and 1985 and dropped their song Funk You Up, which has been sampled in numerous other tracks over the years, like Bruno Mars' Uptown Funk and Dr. Dre's Keep Their Head Ringing. Angie's embarked on a solo career in the late 1990s, and her debut album, Black Diamond, went gold in the US. 2 years later, she released Wish I Didn't Miss You. Then it goes on further and it says to us that Angie embarked on a solo career, which we already did that. So we already said that. I got doubles up here. I don't know how that happens sometimes. We get doubles. Okay, so, and it also gives us a little idea about her children. It says Angie leaves behind her daughter, Diamond Stone, from her previous marriage to Rodney Stone, also known as Lil Rod C. The soulful songstress also shares a son with R&B singer Michael D'Angelo Archer II. Diamond Stone was born in 1984 and has contributed background vocals on her mother's 2007 album. So I forgot, believe it or not, that she was definitely in a relationship with D'Angelo. It is, Dana. It's so sad to hear this. It's actually sad to read it. I thought Angie was so cool. I met her when I used to live in Virginia. Dr. Dre's and BDP used it as well. So Dr. Dre and BDP used it. And that's what I'm talking about. And that's why stuff like this kind of hit different, Hassan, because, you know, her music has been sampled by a lot of people. All right. And what she had been talking about is the industry had not gave her money that they know that was due her. For the past couple of years, she's been on a hunt trying to get her money. And somebody was spending a lot of money to turn people against her. I noticed about a few months ago, she had to come on Twitter to defend her looks and say, look, she looked pretty good for her age. She was 60 something years old, because they were trying to make it's the industry trying to make it a big deal about her looks and all that stuff instead of just giving her money. Rodney Stone is one of the dudes from the Funky 4 Plus. Okay, +1. All right, definitely. And I would still like to see the kids come together at the right time and still go and get what was due their mom, because she put the work in. We're at a time where the music industry is paying people millions of dollars for their music rights and stuff like that. I think what Nelly picked up almost $100 million. He ain't even got, maybe one song that I would even pay attention to. But nevertheless, I'm saying she should have been paid for her contribution to hip hop. No question about that. Need to be in the building. They need to be. She also played in the Fighting Temptations. That's true. That is correct. And she did another movie too, but I can't think of the name of it at this moment. She did one more movie. She was in a movie with Martin Lawrence. Not Martin Lawrence. She was in a movie with Kevin Hart. Yeah. Yes, I remember her suing Bruno Mars and Mark Ronson. Yeah, but you know what? One thing about Bruno Mars, I will say this though. They did come out and acknowledge Angie. They did. A long time ago. And if I'm correct, they were probably the first people to give her credit for sampling her music. There's no question about that. She was in Ride Along with Ice Cube. That's correct. But I remember her from that movie with Kevin Hart. That's what it is. Just can't think of it. Ride Along. Isaac Spencer say Ride Along. Hassan Burton say right along. Hey, you guys can come up here, man, and you know, share your thoughts and what you guys know about her career and remind people of who she is. I hate we have to do it like this, but that's the link. It's right up under you, Isaac, right up under you, Hassan. Just click that link and you can come up and share your memory. But I don't know the movie with her and Kevin Hart. There's a movie she did with Kevin Hart. I remember that. I think it's the first movie she did, if I'm not mistaken. And that was her jumping from music to acting. So she's been working. She put the work in. And that's the sad part about it. When good people like this put the work in, and the industry will not reward them for the work that they did. No more rain. Philly Bill. We always strong. We Philly strong. Philly got, yeah, no more rain. That was with Kevin Hart. And that was, I thought it was pretty, I thought it was an okay movie. I don't know. Uh, but I was glad to see her make that leap, put that work in, all those years for music, and then make that transition from music into movies and be successful at it. So it's just sad. It's a sad day for music. This is a icon in hip hop, soul, R&B. Just a tragedy that we lost someone very, very special. Dana says, I thought she was a beautiful woman and watched an episode of her swapping places with Layla Ali on Celebrity House Swap. I don't think I've seen that, but that sounds interesting. And the Magnificent One says, rest in peace, Angie Stone. Beautiful lady. She seemed cool when I met her. I was surprised she was so nice. I met her in Virginia. I used to live in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And she was really down to earth. Just wow. This kind of caught, I don't know, this caught me off guard. That's why I couldn't even really do it. Because I was really hoping to read in one of the gossip magazines that, people, settle up and paid her what was due her. And it's kind of like Miss Wallace. I didn't do a story on Miss Wallace because I was sad. I wanted Miss Wallace to live to see justice. Anybody else who believed that Miss Wallace was going to see justice? I find it strange. Miss Wallace, when Puffy got arrested, talked about how she wanted to just slap the daylights out of him. He get arrested, and a few months after he get arrested, she takes real sick and die. I don't know. I just find these things strange. That's just me. And Hassan said him too. I just find it strange that Keepy D's in jail, Puffy's in jail, and all of a sudden I'm thinking Miss Wallace is going to definitely live to see justice, but no, all of a sudden she got very, very sick, very sick, and she passed as well too. But I was really hoping in my heart that this one mother lived to see justice because of all my investigation on Tupac, Biggie, and all that stuff that I did from 2006 until current. The one person who was definitely innocent of any of that stuff was Big. There's no reason for them to have done Big like that. You have to be a very evil person to do Big like that. Rest in Paradise Queen from Terrell James. Nita B says, I always said that you saw on Celebrities House Spot. I gotta go look that up. I didn't see that. And Terrell James says justice is coming for her. I hope so, man, because I could not even I mean, I just put a picture up in the community, but I was really hoping, that Miss Wallace would live to hear to say the shooter of Big was arrested or the people who planned his assassination was arrested. I was hoping for it. She deserved it. And so when I found out she had passed, I'm looking at all this stuff happening, Puppy arrested, Keepy D arrested. And the first thing I said is Troop was gonna come out about Big. And so I was hoping for it. She'll live to see because she kept saying she just wanted to see whoever did this in her face, see them with her eyes. And I was just hoping for it, and I didn't expect that that caught me off guard. And so this caught me off guard too, you know. And if you understand, all this is in 30 days. Miss Wallace died, Gene Hackman died, Thaddeus Matthews died, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, one of the actresses in there died, all this death. Okay, I thought we'd get out of February. Now we got a February and then Angie Stone. I mean, somebody told me the other night, they warned me when I was doing that. They said, look, man, when Hollywood people die, they die in threes. We was talking about Gene Hackman, his wife and dog. And then we're talking about the girl who played in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and he was like, "Hey man, Hollywood people they go in threes." And I was like, and Roberta Flack, that was the third one, but they pointed out again because Roberta Flack had already passed as well too. So we're like, no man, it's kind of like insinuating this ain't over with yet. And so here we are, like I think a day or two afterwards, and we have Angie passed. And I was like, man, weird. So Good For You says, can I suggest that all the people who cared about Angie, please say a prayer for her, asking God to take her up to be with him. Well, you guys heard Good For You say a prayer for Angie that God will take her up. I believe God will take her up. I believe that she fought a good fight. She finished her course, and henceforth and now and forevermore, there's a crown of righteousness laid up for her. I really believe that wholeheartedly. And of course, you have Philly Bill Roberta Flack. You know, Philly, when it comes to Roberta Flack, you know what I was hoping for years? I was hoping that somebody actually got to Roberta Flack and asked her more questions about Donny Hathaway. I always thought that Roberta Flack knew a lot more about Donny Hathaway and what may have drove him to some of the psychological issues or whatever it may be. But I don't know if it's out there or not, but I ain't never saw it. But I always hoped, because they really did some great music. Her music with Donny Hathaway was just on. They were a match made in heaven. And I always wanted to see somebody get to interview, ask her more questions about Donny Hathaway, and it didn't happen. Dana says the industry would rather these stars go out than pay them what is due them. Even if under natural circumstances, their deaths always be suspicious. And you know, that's what I'm saying, Dana. It's just weird because, you know, she's doing a lot of money. She really is. And these cats know it. And it ain't like they ain't got the money. They spending millions, hundreds of millions of dollars buying the rights to people's music. You figure that they would go ahead and just pay her what was due her. You know, she didn't cause no trouble. She put some good songs and stuff out there, and just give her money and stuff. And they didn't. And even when they didn't, the way she was asking for it was, you know, nice. It wasn't like aggressive or angry like some of these other people. She just, you know, putting her calls out there. But however, Anita B says Gwen McCrae, one of the Jasper brothers, yeah, and Isley Jasper Isley, yeah, he passed as well too. And whew, y'all bringing up the name. We just did this the other night. Y'all can click on the video. You'll see that is Matthews, and we touched on that. Chris Jasper and all of that. And we have Anita B saying 6 within 1 week. That's what I'm saying. That's a lot. That is a lot. And Hassan Burton says they did the same thing to Iron Kara. And you know what? I started reading about that about a month ago. Irene Cara. I didn't know that the music industry really did her as bad as they did her. I know that there was some blocking or whatever it may be, but you're right, Hassan. I'm looking into this, reading about this, and I don't know what her stumbling block was, Irene Cara, in the music industry. But the stuff that I'm reading is pretty interesting. It's like these people want to control these people. And Dana says, yes, Irene Cara was blacklisted. She was. And I was kind of surprised, at that. I just thought maybe, she had sang and just, retired out of the business. I'm still trying to swallow Gene Hackman, one of my favorite actors of his generation, and the way he died. And it's horrible the way that he died. And not only that, think that something, even they killed a dog, his wife. Just something just don't sit right about the way Gene Hackman left here as well either. I don't know. That's just weird. Out in Santa Fe, New Mexico, they ain't really got too much trouble going on out there. That's just weird. I'm gonna be honest with you. Where Gene Hackman left here, they gotta definitely they will have to definitely solve that. Him, he was what, 95? Well, somebody in the industry told me, well, you know what happened. They said, you make a deal with the devil, he gonna come at some point in time and collect. That's what somebody told me. But then when you think about his wife, I don't know if she was in Hollywood or even if something happened like that or whatever it may be, the industry was. But why would they hurt the dog? There was I think a couple other dogs outside. Nothing happened to them. So I think something happened in that crib. I don't know what it is. Maybe it was carbon monoxide or something. But then they start talking about the body being mummified. And the one thing I did read before I came on here, trying to get an update on Gene Hackman, they're saying that his wife died before he did. And she was the one who was pretty much mummified. That's what they're saying. And then she had pills that were alongside her body, but that she was kind of mummified. So they're saying that the wife died first, indicating that he may have died after the fact. So that's definitely looking like some foul play involved with that. But you have to ask yourself, what could a 95-year-old actor do to tease somebody off like that? That they would go and take out one of the most beloved actors of our time. My favorite movie by Gene Hackman, of course, is Poseidon. I loved him in The Replacements. I like a lot of his movies. I love The Replacements. Him and Keanu Reeves really did a good job with The Replacements. That's one of those movies that they did for cable, but I wish that The Replacements had been a movie. It should have been a movie. It was that good as far as I was concerned. But Poseidon, I watched it today. I love Gene Hackman in the movie Poseidon. Just to let y'all know, I think it was Jeff Bridges. They did a newer version of Poseidon. But if you want to see the original version, it's with Gene Hackman. And you can see it on American Movie Classics or wherever you stream, whoever your streaming service is, type in Poseidon and you'll see the cruise ship that was hit by a rogue wave and turned over the cruise ship. And they got to go from upside down to climb up to the propellers to try and get the only way out. I wonder what are the chances of something like that happening. And I wonder, do they actually play that movie on cruise ships? I remember one day I was riding a plane and I was flying from America to London. And they put on an airplane crash movie. I was like, man, can't y'all think of any other movie other than the one with a plane crashing? I mean, they talking about bad taste, and we over nothing but water. Thousands and thousands of miles of water. Even if you survive, the octopuses and whales are gonna eat you up. And they decided they want to put on an airplane crash movie and play that on a plane. I thought that was the most distasteful thing in the whole world. So I wondered that, like on a cruise, did they actually play Poseidon? And I wonder what are the chances of a rogue wave knocking over a cruise ship? And so Anita B says, "Oh yeah, the cursory pastor forgot about that. Oh yeah, yep, he passed as well too. Roberta Flack and Danny Hathaway, you are my heaven." That's what I'm saying, man. I just hate that. I always wanted to see an interview with Roberta Flack and some questions asked about Donnie and that relationship. I mean, to me, they were the Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell. I mean, they just. I mean, the music is just unbelievable. My favorite song by them, of course, is "The Closer I Get to You." I listen to it over and over and over again, at least twice a month. I listen to that song. I love that song, and they just really blend together. And I thought that she was about the closest person there was to Donny Hathaway, and she could have shared a lot of information, inside information into music and stuff, or what was his goals before he got ill. I know some people say he got mentally ill, all that stuff like that, but I still think there's more to that. Donny Hathaway's funeral was here. Donny Hathaway was from St. Louis. Yeah, Donny Hathaway is from St. Louis. God, what is her name? The guy Isley used to be married to. Um, Angela, Renee and Angela. Angela is from St. Louis as well too. Hmm. I think she's a minister, a pastor down in St. Louis now. Um, but she was married to Ronald Isley for years, and then played keyboards for them on a lot of their hit songs. Angela did. I don't know what happened to Renee at all. Period. I think I was singing him on an interview some months ago, but I don't know what happened to him. But I know she's down there ministering the gospel. So since she's been ministering the gospel, they ain't been like doing anything. Of course, I guess the demons ain't gonna lift up anybody ministering the gospel. However, so we are here discussing the passing of the great Angie Stone. Misfortunate, she passed in a car accident earlier today. Accident where there were 9 people in a van, and I hope it was a 15-passenger van. I really do. I hope it was a 15-passenger van. You couldn't tell because it was so wrecked. And for you guys who didn't see, I'm gonna let you see just how bad this accident was because I want to know what happened here because this accident was really bad. So I'm gonna let you guys see the accident. Stand by. I'm gonna pull it up, and this is the aftermath of the accident. And you can look and see this was a horrible, horrible accident. In my view, it's a miracle that anybody walked away from this accident. Take a look. That's her vehicle. You see the driver driving up on it. That's her vehicle. That's I-65 in Alabama. That car is bent. That van is bent up. You can't even tell it's a van. So I don't know how many times it flipped over, but it definitely flipped over multiple times. And I'm sure there'll be other videos and stuff that come out shortly because everybody got a dash cam. But this was a horrible, horrible accident. It's a tough way to go, man. And I hope and pray that she didn't suffer either. But you can see this accident is no joke. This is a very serious accident, and that van is all bent up metal, twisted metal. So that was a very very serious accident, and I will pretty much won't be satisfied until Alabama Highway Patrol tell us what happened. I'm sure there were cars who saw what happened. I can't tell you anything because ain't nobody saying anything, so we can't speculate in a situation like that. We want to be accurate. We want to be courteous to the family as well too. So Dana says, I wonder if the driver fell asleep because I read some reports that said the vehicle flipped 3 times before a big rig hit it. Okay, now I haven't read that, Dana. So you saying a big rig hit it? I know 65 is big for big rigs. That's what I was thinking. That usually the truckers are all there and they got dash cams and filming all this stuff like that. But that's the problem with vans, though. Depending on what kind of van she was in. If she was in a 15-passenger van, just so you know, 15-passenger vans are excruciatingly unsafe and they are known to flip over. A lot of people think they're safe in a 15-passenger van, but they're not. That's one of the most unsafest vans that you could be in. And so if it was 9 people, I would think they would have probably been in a 15-passenger van. I can't tell what kind of van that is because of the damage that's done to it. But if it was one of those 15-passenger vans, that's one of the most dangerous vans to drive. Just jerking the steering wheel is enough to cause that thing to flip over. That's why they came out with SUVs that are more ergonomically correct when it comes to driving in the wind and not flipping over. That's why they kind of moved away from 15-passenger vans. And if you notice, a lot of people are selling those vans, selling them at a cheap price because they are so dangerous. And if you jerk a little bit, it's gonna flip all the way over. And like Dana just said, you flip it over, and trucks are running at 75, 80 miles an hour. They're just gonna run right into you. They can't stop. Cannot stop. Well, pray for her daughter because I didn't believe it was true until I saw the daughter's tweet. After I saw the daughter's tweet, which says my mommy is gone and a bunch of crying emojis, then I said, "Dang, it's true." I was hoping that it wasn't true. And the Magnificent One said um, it may have been her son driving that van. Oh, then the Magnificent One said he was the driver. So her son by D'Angelo was driving that van. Dana says, I learned that in driver's class that weight on those types of vans has to be evenly distributed because they easily fill. You know what, Dana, as a truck driver, I can tell you that those vans, those 15 passenger, those vans you see the local churches use, those are the most dangerous vans in the whole world. I'm telling you, whether weight's distributed or not, if the driver jerks, those things are more capable of flipping over than a truck. I mean, that's just their reputation. Now, it was the reason, again, why people push towards SUVs, uh, uh, vans that were more ergonomically right when it came time to driving in the wind, because those 15 passenger vans, before the minivan came out, if you remember when Lee Coker invented the minivan, one of the things that impressed people and caused people to have a Chrysler minivan was its safety record. I mean, it was safe at high speeds, didn't flip over, and that's when people stopped buying those 15 passenger vans, and what you saw was hotels and truck companies using them to drive people around. And as a truck driver, I've seen them flip over inside truck yards. So those vans, if it was a 15 passenger van, I cannot tell. I've watched this and shedded a tear or two, trying to see, is that a 15 passenger van, but I can't tell. It's too, the damage is too extensive. When I look at that, I'm trying to, you can't do nothing but thank God and say, 8 people survived this. You wonder how. The 8 people are survivors. They should go to church tomorrow morning and thank the Lord Jesus Christ, because the angels held them. Because this is bad. This is a horrible, horrible accident. So I can't tell what that is. I can't tell what kind of van it is. I just know if it was a 15 passenger van, it wouldn't surprise me if it flipped over, because that's what they do. Um, he normally is her driver, so I'm thinking he was driving. So Magnificent One thinks it was her son that was driving. We got to pray for him that God give him strength. It's just an accident. He didn't mean it. We don't want him to blame himself. So pray for him and his sister. And that's when I really thought. That's when I really knew it was real, when I read Diamond's thing here. My mommy's gone. I was like, okay, this is real. Cause I really hoping that it wasn't real. That's what I was hoping. And it says, wow, Magnificent One says it looked almost like a Sprinter van to me. So you said it was a Sprinter? I don't know. I can't tell. I watched that thing so much, I got tears in my eyes now, if you can believe it. I just can't tell what it is. And I think a lot of that has to do with how severe the accident was and how many times it actually flipped over. It destroyed the top and bent the frame and everything. So I don't know what it is. I haven't seen, you think that somebody would have had pictures from the hotel, so I don't know what's going on. P. Harvey says, oh, it's no problem, P. Harvey. Thanks for covering it. Yeah, I had to cover Angie, man, because that's one of the good ones. She was a sweetheart. I had the pleasure of meeting her when I lived in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and she was very nice, very informative person, and one of the few celebrities that I actually got a chance to meet, and appreciate her contribution. She made a contribution to the world, and it will live on forever. Forever and a day, it will live on. Like everyone says, me, it is so sad. It is, and it was hard to believe. I'm like, man, I don't know who's playing these games. That was the first thing that came to my mind. Somebody's playing games. This is her, um, just a little bit. This is her, and not that one. I think this is well, I don't know which one. One of these pictures were, I think, her from one of her shows out there this month in February. I don't know. I don't remember. But she's a great artist. Um, People sampling her music and stuff like that. And what makes it so suspicious to us, we're suspicious because, she started to, wanting her money from the stuff that people sampling her music and stuff. The survivors need to give God thanks for surviving this terrible wreck. That's what I said. I don't know if you heard me about 10 minutes ago. I said, if ever you need to go to church and thank the Lord, when I saw that accident, I was like, 8 people actually survived this. I was surprised that anybody that van. Look, I'll just let you see for yourself. I'm gonna play it again so you can see for yourself because a miracle that 8 people got out of here. Look at that van. You can't even tell it's a van. The whole top is gone. And that's how you know how many times it's bent over. What's up, bro? All right, good to see you, man.
Hey Tanique, how's everything, man? I know it's been a while.
Yeah, everything good, bro. All right, what's your thoughts on this, man?
Um, I mean, it's sad though, to say the least, because I know she has, 2 children. I know, like, she has also a son with D'Angelo.
D'Angelo. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of mind-boggling though when you think about these things that happen, within the music industry, because just like how you were saying, like like with the deaths of not only just her but other singers, like in the past week or so, it make you think, like, these things are these things orchestrated, or these things happen, is it just tragic accidents? Because we are, every time a celebrity passes away, it's like, it's either they be like they attribute it to them, having a drug overdose or drowning, or car accidents and stuff. And when you was talking about it, I thought about Tracy Morgan a few years ago. Remember, I think he was in a Sprinter van too, and I know,
Walmart truck hit him.
yeah. And I was thinking about that. Like, I think I think only one. I think, what was it one guy, one person died in that accident too.
Yeah, his manager, I think, died, and one of his friends.
Yes. Sometimes these things make you go like, like, it's just too coincidental, And I seen a video earlier on the internet where she was talking about basically how the the music company, the record label, they robbed her of her royalties, like how you were saying earlier, like people were sampling her music. And I seen something from TMZ a couple years ago when she was basically calling out the artist that was using her sampling her music, but they wasn't like paying her like how she was supposed to. She was talking about Dr. Dre, saying it was disrespectful for him to do it, but they just do whatever they want to do, and they don't feel like you deserve your just due, especially for somebody like her that been in the industry for a long time. Been
Mhm.
successful with the with her group, and then being successful as a solo artist as well. But as you said too, like, she wasn't doing it in a disrespectful way, but she made it known, like, listen, you can't just be out here, just sampling my music, and then it just be fine. But she did say, like, with Bruno Mars, she said, well, he's a young guy, so he may be forced, like, basically kind of forced into doing it, and, like, he may not
Yeah,
really understand
yeah.
how
He
it.
did right, and then he acknowledged on Twitter that they used her music and gave her the praise that was really due her. He's the only one,
Yeah.
and that nobody else has, and you clearly know that they used her music and stuff. So this is what makes it suspicious, man. What makes it suspicious, just like Pac, you know, um, go back to what Pac did. First thing Pac did was fire Reggie Wright Jr.
Hmm.
Then he hired Gaddafi's mom to handle his business affairs. And what did they do? They called for an audit of death row.
Hmm.
Okay, if you remove that audit and the firing of the head of security, well, you fired the head of security, and then you called in the FBI to do an audit of the record company, then you could probably look at this and go, you know what, that was just another shooting. you know, but no, it don't work that way. An audit was performed, and that same audit is what ultimately led to the destruction of death row and bankruptcy and stuff like that. People act like that audit didn't happen. Like, that's why I said, let me start reporting. Hey, y'all act like, okay, the guy called for an audit and they get, well, how do you think Afeni Shakur got all that money? An
Yeah.
audit happened.
That's
And they
true.
found out how much money was due him. And the Phoenix Shakur sued Death Row and got all his money, all of his music back, at least much as she could.
Yeah,
All right.
that's very true. And
And then
they didn't want.
after the audit, what happened? Hey man, I want you to come down here and go watch Mike Tyson fight. And guess what? Shots rang out.
Hmm.
All right. I'm sorry, bro. That's suspicious. Even okay, let's go to Biggie. All right. Miss Wallace shared a lot of information with us. And this came from Miss Wallace, is in her book, that Biggie was leaving Bad Boy because Puffy was on some gay shit. That's in her book, not mine. That's in
She
her
didn't.
book. All
She
right.
didn't like that man.
She didn't like it.
She
She
didn't like
said
that.
she even released some information recently that you need to look up, talking about he did not want to go with Puffy and told her the day before he didn't want to go out there, but he needed the money and was forced to go
Yeah.
out there because he needed some money. So she released that information and released some more information. My point is, okay, well, what was it all about? Big went, like I reported years ago, he got Lil Caesar and Junior Mafia, Lil Kim signed to Atlantic, and he was making more money off of them than Puffy was making with him. And Puffy got mad and went and bought Junior Mafia and Lil Kim them off of Atlantic. And Big wants to leave. He wants to leave. Ms. Wallace said he didn't want to leave. She said he was leaving. That was it. Okay, well, here's a guy who's disgruntled about what's going on in Bad Boy. And okay, I want you to go out with me and go out to Los Angeles where people already believe you did something that you didn't do. Okay, then he gets killed. Man, come on. That ain't no conspiracy, bro.
Yeah, that's a. And man, that was a bad move. Especially at that time when you got you got both of the coasts going at each other, and the temperature. So it's not like because he tried to make it seem like he didn't know, he didn't know what was going on. He didn't know that was going to happen, and it's like
Man, look,
Gene
the
Deal
reason I
blew
don't
the.
say nothing about that stuff, let me tell you something. That dude's a liar.
Yeah,
One of the
Gene,
things I got on film, I got Reggie Wright Jr. talking about how Puffy called right way security, Puffy, and gave right way security Big's entire detail because he tried to hire right way security before they even came to LA.
mm,
He's saying it. He
that's
said it. They gave him all of Big's itinerary. I got it on film. He did it on Bomb First.
that's 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 crazy though, man.
Puffy looking for security, and he calls Death Row and tried to hire right way and tell them every place Big is going to be going. Man, get out of town. And so Big go out there and get shot, and it's supposed to be suspicious.
Yeah,
No. And he
yeah,
trying to leave. This is gonna be his last ride with them anyway. That's the last ride. Miss Wallace said he was leaving.
yeah. And she said she thought, he thought at the time that Diddy was helping him. He wanted to do music. He wanted to get out the hood. Here come this guy offering him some money. Sold him out. I think she said, I think for $10,000 or 15,000.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Something. Like that. Yeah, and
Well,
she,
yeah, he helped him like he helped Craig Mack, right?
yeah, he ain't helped nobody.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't helped
Nobody
none.
putting his money on your publishing.
And then the fact that you got one of the biggest artists at that time on your label, and he has to go and sneak in, can't even put his name on something because he's gonna find out, and he's gonna try to take everything from you. So I was like, Gene Deal blew him up. So it's not like nobody don't know. And I know people like to say, Gene is crazy. He don't know what he's talking about. But a lot of that stuff I heard also from other people too. Same kind of thing.
People have been saying this stuff for years.
Hmm.
The first time I really heard something about this cat was a long time ago. It was when he went to sign Jodeci. And KC was going out with Mary J. Blige. People forget about Jodeci. And I think that they went into the restroom or something and came back, and Mary J. Blige sitting on his lap and stuff like that.
Mm.
And that's why him and Mary J. Blige wind up not being together. Mary J. Blige name floating around all this stuff, since she been with Diddy. I'm wondering how she gonna survive this stuff. Dana, you're right. Bruno Mars is always very respectful. Good for You says, when a group of people pray, it causes miracles to happen. Please, kings and queens, say one for Angie Stone. Definitely for Angie Stone and her family as well, too, that God keep them up. I didn't know she was signed to Sugar Hill Records. That must have been very early in her career. Yeah, 1977 or 78, 79, 1979. Shout out to Leland Robinson, CEO of Sugar Hill Records. My people get right with the almighty creator of all and everything. It happens too fast. Wake up, my grade A people. You're absolutely right. Get right with God. Give your soul to the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? But Angie comes from a different era. And the era that Angie came from, you just had to have talent. See, now you got to get your booty hole up. You got to kill somebody and everything like that in order to be signed. But back in the Angie's the last of the day where you just needed talent. If you had talent, you got signed. And so basically, what she wanted was just for the work that she put in, and people used her work. And I think a lot of times because she was so nice about it, that's why she didn't get it. Other folks would have filed charges, start cussing people out, doing tell-all books, but she didn't take that approach. She would just make a mention of it every time she got an interview, and that's why it's so strange. Because the past couple of years, whenever she got an interview, she started talking about the industry and how they owe her money and won't pay her money, and people in the industry who won't pay her money, and that's why it looks suspicious, man. That's why it looks suspicious.
That they definitely do. It's just like a lot of these things. It's like just some a lot of it is obvious, but then it's just too coincidental. Like, and I won. I'm sad too. For Miss Wallace too, because I was one of those people that was believing that too. Like I said, but I was thinking about her probably like maybe like a few months ago or maybe last year sometime, and I said before she closed her eyes, I hope and pray that the Lord allow her to see justice for her son before that happens. Before he,
I was believing. I mean, I really was believing in my heart that would be one mother who would get to see justice for her son. I really was hoping that she would live to see justice for her son. I still hope Biggie get justice. I really do. I don't care what they have to do, what stone they got to turn over, but I really wanted her to live to see her son get justice. KJ just dropped some knowledge on us saying Angie made a live 3 years ago. Listen to this. KJ, I wish you could give me a link to that live and tell me more about it. But KJ said that she made a live 3 years ago saying she was in fear of her life. Angie Stone. You see what I'm saying? Now, how are you not going to have a conspiracy if a woman's telling you she's in fear for her life?
wow. So maybe she knew some people was after her, or she was talking. You know how they
The
say
minute, the
you
minute she
talk
started talking, they after her.
you
Look at that
talking too much.
accident. That was a
Yeah, like
horrible accident, man. In my personal belief, from looking at it, I think somebody tried to run them off the road.
mm, that could be a possibility. Definitely.
Look, look at that car flipping over, man. Somebody tried to run them off the road like they tried to change lanes and he couldn't catch it.
But it'd be definitely interesting to talk to the people, the surviving people, because they would know, you know, what
The police can tell too when they get out there and start looking at whether or not brakes was hit and all that stuff. They gonna know. And then other people there, they were witnesses to the accident. They called 911 and stuff, so they saw what happened. It's just a matter of compiling what they said and going to look at the evidence and coming out this week and giving us the cause of what may have happened or whatnot. That's a man. 8 people got out of this alive. Look at that.
mm,
Ever anybody need to go to church. When I saw that, I thought all 9 people had died. I
yeah,
thought that.
I was thinking that too. I was like, well, she's the only one. I I was expecting it to be more as well, but that's mm,
I'm sorry she gone. My heart hurts. I was a fan, but there's a miracle in this if you can stomach it. The 8 people survived this, and I don't know how. But thanks to the goodness of God, 8 people survived this, and we thank God for the survivors, and we pray that God take care of Angie. We loved her music and stuff like that, but God loved her more, and He brought her home. and now can't nobody hurt her no more. Ain't nobody, don't nobody, people owe her money and stuff like that. She's delivered from that stuff. No more pain and all that stuff that go along with making that transition. So
Amen.
I just hope whoever was driving don't make it personal and don't blame they self. It's an accident, and accidents happen. You don't want nobody to try and put this on them like it's their fault because the accident happened. But that's some serious driving down to 65. I've done it a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna look for it.
She was,
She was ranting on live. Okay, she was exposing some things. See, that's what I'm saying. You said is he now? KJ is telling you exactly what I'm saying. This only happens to artists who start talking and start sharing. What's been going on.
mhm.
And you call it conspiracy. It's not conspiracy. That man. That once they start talking, these tragedies happen to them. Tragedies don't happen to them as long as they ain't saying nothing. But the minute they start saying something, this stuff that happens to them.
That's
Do you
right.
know the extent of the survivors' injuries? Dana, no, they're not really releasing a whole lot of information at all, period. And you got powerful people trying. You got TMZ trying. I saw Perez Hilton. I think he may be even down there trying to get information. So none of them got any information. So they're very tight-lipped about this. I don't know why, but they're very tight-lipped about Gene Hackman, and they're very tight-lipped about this. So something's up here. We just gotta wait and see. Anita B says, "Do y'all remember when it was out that she was deceased and she went to live?" Okay, she went live to address. Yeah, I remember that. That's why I was hoping. That's exactly why I was hoping this was all fake, Anita. That's why I was hoping that nothing happened to Angie. Trying not to panic, and then on TikTok, I saw the video and went like, "Man, I hope this is not real." And then when I saw the daughter's post, I knew it was real at that point. I knew it was real when I saw the daughter's post, and that's the daughter's Facebook page. And when I saw that post, I knew then it was real. My mommy's gone, and she had the crying emojis. And I said, "Wow, this is really real." And then I saw the video on TikTok. I was like, "Man, 8 people got out of there." I'm like, "This don't miracle." Needed to be said. That's why I didn't believe it at first. Yeah, but it is real. We're coming to you live to announce the untimely passing of a great singer-songwriter, Angie Stone, has left us, and she's gone home to be with the Lord. She's made a transition into the arms of Jesus. That's what I believe. He came that we would have eternal life, and now she's taking her flight, a flight with eternal life. I can thank you guys for coming out. Thank you, Spencer, for coming out, hanging out, man. You're always welcome. To all our subs, to all our followers, I want to say to y'all, go to church tomorrow. And don't forget tonight, say some prayers for Angie, for her family, that God keep them together and that they be strong. Say some prayers for D'Angelo. This is his child's mom. They have a child together, D'Angelo and Angie. Say some prayers for these people that God keep them uplifted and stuff like that. So to everybody, I want to say one nation.
That's what we see Jay-Z has done. That's what we see Puff has done. The music don't become how you pay the bills. It's a lot of pressure off of it. You got other things bringing in income. You can make music.
This new song with Nip and Jay, what the fuck, I got something to say. What a slap in the fucking face. Like what the fuck is going on? Who told you that song and did you know all along? And why did your bitch sell that painting 2 weeks after he was gone? I'm gonna tell you what it feels like. It feels a little fishy. Feels like something's going on ever since that John Legend song and college prediction of a Grammy. If you ask me, I can't stand him. Seems a little weird. Question number 1, why is there no blood? Question number 2, Sam left in the AM is true. But you're talking about the shit's all up in the afternoon. Don't trip, we're gonna find out the truth soon. Who did what to who? Did they plan to eat the chili fries or was it just a surprise? Can you see the lies of witness in a cowboy's eyes? Are we gonna just sit here and forget? Are we gonna ride like Nip said? It's a little weird that the judge quit. Handing out immunities like candy makes me sick. I got a lot of unanswered questions like, why's the footage all grit and I can't see shit? Who the fuck is that white man in that white BMW? Probably was the FBI. Yeah, I noticed that white guy, and I noticed the car wasn't in the pictures when they showed them afterwards. They thought we would forget, they got that shit backwards. They weren't expecting me to drop this track and raise all these questions with my Mac words. I'm really mobbing through LA smoking backwoods. I've been doing this shit all my life. TMC, AMI. You might just see an empty parking lot when you ride by. Well, me, I see way more. I see an independently owned store. I see the community taking power back, whether you're white, Mexican, Asian, or black. As long as you're not blue. Good ones, there might be a few, but from my life experience, I'm like, fuck that. I'm not defending Eric, but what's the fucking delay? They requested a quick trial, it's been over 800 days. They tried to distract us in so many clever, creative ways. Yeah, you got your Grammy, and now you're a billionaire. But what about the families that are still living there? Seems a little unfair, just a little something to compare. I never seen a fireman wearing a bulletproof vest. Yes, the shit to me seems a little suspect. The shit's a little weird. Crisis actors taking away our fathers, making our child some bastards, killing creative men and women for their masters. The waves that Nip rode in, you didn't know where to begin. A bunch of new chapters, you didn't think about what would happen after. We would put the pieces together on your transparent bullshit. I can see right through it, like the clear blue sky in the LA sunny weather, where the palm trees swing side to side and we ride together on a white horse or a double R hearse in a foreign car. Either way, you gotta be on guard, because they're on tap for anyone who's brown or black with tats. Everybody sees it, but nobody wants to attack. It's sad if you ask, we all gotta blast back. We're in the game, but we can't touch the ball. Seems a little unfair if you ask me, that's all. So take your ignorant ass to YouTube and type in Tanique Reviews to get the real news. We're doing the shit for justice, not views. Sharing knowledge and coming together, that's the real tool. He tried to lead us to the lake, so don't sleep on the knowledge that he gave to me and you. He wanted us to learn from his mistakes, so with our new knowledge, good decisions we could make. And also one thing I wanted to say myself, they killed Dr. Sebi because he was teaching health. Assassins, they come in all shapes and sizes, big booties, hips and thighs. Oh, you're Diddy's girl, right? Oh yeah, John Legend, some things happen at your video shoot. I got a couple questions for you. All those strings you pulled, you still can't make a rap hit. You punk ass little bitch, you probably got a little dick. All the shit that you have to did. This new song with Nip and Jay, what the fuck, I got something to say. What a slap in the fucking face. This new song with Nip and Jay, what the fuck, I got something to say. What a slap in the fucking face.